Hi, this is Charlene Harris again, and I'm going to talk tonight about recruiting. Why be a recruiter for Usborne Books? I've been with the company for a long time, and I have to say that I consider myself a recruiter more than anything else with Usborne, that my focus with the business is to help people start their own businesses, to help them be able to work out of their homes, to have lots and lots of books for their children in their homes, and also to be able to make some money, to work at a significant job where you're doing something that's good and profitable all at the same time. So I'm going to talk tonight about recruiting and some of my philosophy. Now, recruiting really is more of a philosophy than anything else. And with Usborne Books, we have sort of a different philosophy than most people, than most of the companies. Most of the companies are like, target somebody and go talk them into it kind of thing. And that's really not Usborne. Usborne's philosophy is more that we are not looking to talk anyone into doing this business, but we're only looking for the ones who need a job like this. We're really looking for people who want to do something like this. The difference between talking someone into it and just finding the people that want to do it is kind of a predator attitude. You're talking people into doing something they don't want to do for you, so it benefits you. But finding the people who need a job, want a job like this, would love to stay home with their kids, would like to build their libraries for their children, would like to make money, would like to be flexible, build for the future, all the things that are packed in to Usborne Books, you're helping them achieve something that they couldn't have achieved otherwise. I absolutely know that that's true in my life. Usborne has been such a blessing that when I think about people, I think about how can I help them? How can I make their life a little better? And part of that is Usborne Books. So currently we have about, the number on this slide says 10,000 recruits across the United States. I think that might be about 15 now, but that's insignificant across the United States. Mary Kay, the makeup folks, have 30,000 consultants in Dallas, Texas alone. 30,000, Dallas, Texas alone. So we are really low in terms of having consultants, the number of consultants that we have. So the need is great. We need more consultants to go out and get these books into all the schools, into all the libraries, and into children's homes. So the question is, what is the need? Is there a need? Why do we ask you to recruit others to do this business? The first is our children. The literacy rates in this country are so low, it's just ridiculous. We know that simply increasing the number of books in a child's home will increase his or her ability to read and educate themselves. One of the number one indicators of how well a child will do in school is how many books are in the home. Now, you might have a ton of books in your home and think, well, everybody has that. Well, that's just not true. There are homes where there is no reading material whatsoever, not even magazines, not newspapers, nothing like that. Children grow up their whole life seeing that books are not important and not valued, and so they pick up that attitude about reading and books, and so they live their lives poorly educated, and thus our low literacy rates. Our schools funding for books, supplies, and classrooms needs have been drastically cut. When the economy went, all the extra money that helped the schools out went too. So you have large schools where their libraries are old and out of date, and they need fresh new books. They need books that children are going to open and read. And as a consultant, you probably already agree with me that Usborne Books are wonderful. They draw children in. You know, the covers are designed to draw a child in from 9 feet away. Everything about that Usborne Books is thought through to make children want to read, to help them to want to read, to be book lovers. Because if they love to read, and they will be able to educate themselves, there'll be no holding them back whatsoever. The third reason there's a need is women and their families. Today, You won't hardly find a household where the woman doesn't work, where the husband is able to support the family's needs all by himself. Most households, both the husband and the wife has to work. And usually she has to be away from the house for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. So who's minding the store or the home? Who's watching the children? High fees at daycares. Very costly to have children in daycares. And then there's lots of times where, the children are just getting what they need. If you have to work, you have to work. But wouldn't it be great if you could offer them a way to work, make some money, and still be around their children, to design their schedules to be around their children's lives and to work out their families that way. I told you I've been with Usborne for a long time, and I started many years ago as a homeschooling mom. I was looking for a job that I could do without having to give up homeschooling. And I looked for a part-time job that would be enough money to actually leave the house for 6 months. And I found nothing that was significant that made enough for me to make it worthwhile for me to go outside the home and work. And then I ran into Usborne, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try. At the very, very least, I'll get all these books for homeschooling. I'll have them in my house. So I gave it a try. And I've soon discovered that it is an extremely flexible job. It's not, I'm not saying it's a job that you don't work and it just falls in your lap. You have to work, but it's very flexible. You get to decide when and where and how much, and literally how much money you want to make. So women, when we offer this job to people, to women in particular, we're not only offering them money, we're offering them flexibility, more time with their children, more books in their home, and also quite frankly, learning new skills. To run a business takes a certain amount of skills, and we're here to help people. I know I pass on anything I learned to all my team members so that they don't have to go through finding out how to do it. I can show them, and they can save them a lot of time and a lot of effort. So there's lots and lots of needs out there. There are hundreds, thousands of women that would love to have a job like this. You just have to show them how they can do it. Now, I was telling you about the literacy rates. 20% of high school seniors can be classified as being functionally illiterate at the time of their graduation. 20%. 70% of prisoners in state and federal systems can be classified as illiterate. 85% of all juvenile offenders rate as functionally or marginally illiterate, and 43% of those with the lowest literacy skills live in poverty. So what are the common denominator between all these hard lives is the poor reading skills, basically. They don't read well, so they're not educated, and they don't even, they might be too embarrassed to get help with it. It's a lifestyle. It's also kind of a trap that they get into, and we have the power in our hands to change that by just getting books in the homes of children, making that a priority. Okay, how do we meet these needs with our children? Simply, as I said, increasing the number of books in a child's home will increase his or her ability to read and educate themselves. We have 4 different programs where we can partner with our schools to get books into the classroom, into the in the homes of the children, all different kinds of things. The women's and their families, a second stream of income can mean the difference between the extras in life or just the essentials for a family. So we can offer them part-time work or even full-time work. And I have to say this, during the last economic downturn, a lot of my friends' husbands lost their jobs. And it was really a scary time. And those friends of mine that work for Usborne, what they did was just kick their business into gear. They might have been working it part-time, and they just kicked it into a full-time job, and they paved the way for their family while their husband looked for a job and in between getting a new job. So Usborne in your pocket is a good thing. You can ratchet it up when you need it, and you can tune it down a little bit when you don't need it. it's a great thing. So definitely, it's good for you, and it's good for anybody else that you offer it to. So where do you start? Recruiting begins in your mind and how you feel about your business. That's why I talked a lot about tonight. I know we're all women of integrity, and we're not looking to be predators. We're not looking to talk people into doing things they don't want to do. And with Usborne, you really don't have to do that. In fact, I ask you not to do that. I want you to just to take the time to find the people that want a job like that. And you see the little picture of the girl saying, how do I feel? Good, scared. Usborne is great, uncertain, I don't know. So I'm sure you have many of those thoughts going through your mind all the time. Sometimes you feel great about it. Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I'm even good at it. The truth of the matter is that it's a great company. They're great books, and it's a great opportunity. It really is. If you're not succeeding at it like you would have liked, then my suggestion to you is to get more training, talk to your team leader, and find out what it is, what you're doing. It might be the way you're thinking about it, or it might you just need a few more skills or tips or something like that to get the ball rolling. There is help. You don't have to just give up on it. We can help you get started again. We can help you get rolling again and build something really nice for now and for the future. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is to change your mind about the whole thing and review why you love Usborne Books. What was it? What was the reason why you started? What did you need that you saw Usborne could fill that need? When I started, I needed money. I was a book lover already, used tons of books in homeschooling, saw it as a nice added bonus that I'd get all those books for free. But I also needed money. We drove the worst car. You couldn't roll the windows up and down. You had to kind of pull them up and push them down. It was very embarrassing at the bank. The trunk only opened with a screwdriver. So I'm talking an old car. My husband was totally happy with it. He saw no need to, it ran just fine, so he didn't see any need, but I wanted to buy a car. So I wanted to work enough just to buy a car. I had no other intentions except for that. So I researched it, as I said earlier, for about 6 months, and Usborne came my way, and I thought maybe this will work. And so I gave it a try, and I was thrilled with all the books that I got, just thrilled. And I boldly went to my neighbors with my box of books and showed them, and they loved it. And the business just started rolling along then. My sister-in-law had my first party for me, and she invited a lot of people. And I found that I wasn't even nervous standing in front of them talking about the books. Now, I don't like to talk about myself, but I don't mind talking about Usborne Books because they're so great. So think about, why do you love Usborne Books, and review that in your mind. And if it's on the top of your head, it's right there in front, you're going to say it. It's going to come out when you talk to people. So also review why you love the company. I mean, it's a great company. It's a family-owned company. They're very nice to us. There's no punishments. There's only rewards. If you do something, they give you logo wear or free books or bonuses, all different kinds of things. So, but if you don't do anything, nothing happens. So it really is a great company, and their hearts are for us. They know we're women with children, and they want to help us succeed, because the truth of the matter, if we succeed, they succeed. So they have the right attitude. Know what Usborne has to offer. Know your programs. When you're talking to people, know what the current hostess special is. Know what our book fairs involve, and our literacy for a lifetime for the schools and libraries. So you know your program. So if somebody comes your way with a need, you can tell them how to fill that need with Usborne Books. Kind of paint a picture for people. What will owning their own business look like? I can tell them from my experience, it looks like lots of free times. I work, but I schedule free time in there too. So I can be out shopping in the middle of the day, or I'm not tied to a desk from 9 to 5. That sounds like prison to me. I'm so happy that I am free with my schedule. It doesn't mean I'm not busy, because I'm very busy. I work a lot, but I decide when and where and how much. Okay, so that's what owning your own business looks like. And the rewards, you get all the rewards, but you also have the responsibility. So it's a two-way street, but it's great. I wouldn't have it any other way. and be ready with the information they need to make a good decision. Now, the company has a recruiting packet. It's called a monthly recruiting packet, and it's in your back office under consultant toolbox. And it's great. It's a perfect amount of information to give to somebody that they can read about the company and make a good decision. Make sure they know what the current kid special is. And be ready to tell them when there's a great one that's coming up. They may not be ready to join Usborne right now, but they might next month or the next month or even 6 months. Studies have shown that people's lives change every 6 months. So they might not have needed it today, but in 6 months, maybe their husband will lose his job, or they'll be unhappy with their job, or a child needs to be homeschooled, or something like that. A sick relative of some sort needs to be taken care of, and they need to change their work situation. So keep people informed. If you have recruit leads, don't lose them. Make sure you regularly follow up on them and through an email, a simple way, or Facebook them, simple way to keep them informed as to what the current specials are. So if their needs have changed, they can inform you. I keep track of everybody because, quite frankly, if you don't, you are recruiting for somebody else. Whoever they run into at the time when they're ready to join Usborne, they're going to sign up with them. So if you keep your name and number in front of them, they're going to sign up with you. If you don't, they'll find somebody else. So you're literally doing the work for some other consultant. Okay. So what do you say to a person? How do you get the ball rolling and introducing the idea of possibly becoming a rep for Usborne Books? All you need is a conversation starter. You need a way to bring it up without making them feel like you're after them or something, just a casual way of bringing it up to see if they've ever thought about it, if they've ever considered taking on a second job, or if they need a job now. This is what I say. I say it every time, and I can say it in all circumstances. I say I'm looking for people, like if I'm talking to a friend, or if I'm in a booth or at a home party, I'll say, you know, one of the reasons I'm here today, or if I'm talking to a friend, you know, I'm looking for people in this area to help me rep the books. If you're interested, or maybe you know somebody that is, I can give you a packet of information and you can read all about it. There's no obligation, it's just information. See yourself as an information giver. It's up to them to decide if it fits into their life or not. So you give them the information, and it's your job to give them the information. It's their job to decide if they want to do it or not. Okay? And recruiting really is a process for them. Remember when I said it's all about them, that it's all about their life and nothing about yours? So don't take it personally if they tell you no, or maybe, or not now, or yes. It's whatever it is, it's all about them. And you're there ready to catch them when they're ready, but letting them go when they're not, and keeping them informed about current specials as the time goes on in the future. Give them the opportunity to process this information and to think about it and decide if it fits in their life or not. So give them the time to think about it, but do keep your name and number in front of them and keep checking on them. Don't waste your time trying to talk someone into doing this business. Don't even waste a minute of your time doing that. I have a sort of a story word picture here to tell you about what I mean by that. See this picture of a really, really busy New York street corner. Picture yourself in this crowd right here, and you're handing out information about Usborne Books, and as the people walk by, you say, here's some information, and another person, here's some information, and it's quite busy. You're handing out lots and lots and lots of packets of information. But let's say somebody stops you and comes up and says, hey, I'm kind of interested in this. Can you tell me all about it? So you pull them out of the crowd, off to the side, away from the crowds, and you tell them all about it, and you answer all their questions, and think of all your great licks of why they should do it, and whether they decide, if they decide to do it or not to do it, which is totally up to them. Tell me what's happening to all the other people in the crowd. They're walking away without any information. So I want you to see yourself as an information giver. So the best place for you to do is to keep yourself in the middle of all the people and keep handing out information. And that person that wants to know about it, tell them to read the packet, and you'll give them a call later and you'll talk to them about it. But keep handing out. Don't put any energy into talking people into it. Put all your energy into offering packets. Remember what we said on the slide before. I'm looking for people in this area to help me rep the books. If you're interested or know someone that is, I can give you a packet of information and you can read all about it. There's no obligation, just information. Okay? Alrighty, so one of the last things I want to talk about, not totally the last thing, but don't prejudge. And earlier today, in another talk, I talked about not judging people to book a show or not, deciding for them whether they're good or not good for this. You never know who's going to be good at this business. It depends on a lot of factors that you cannot see on the surface. So when you look at somebody and they look great, and you decide, oh, they're going to be great at Usborne, or you look at somebody and they don't look too good, and you're going to decide they're not going to be able to do this at all. You are wrong in both cases because you don't know what they have inside them and what potential they have. They may need some training. They may need to see how everybody else dresses when they go to parties or things like that. But you don't know what's inside of them. I am pretty sure that most of my friends would have told me that I would not have been good at this job because I'm an introvert. I'm not outgoing. I'm not just a great people person. I mean, I'm a one-on-one people person. I like people. But I don't think my friends would have said, yeah, you're a great fit for this. But the truth of it is, I am good at it. I'm very good at it. And I've had a great time. It's been a great job. And I'm so thankful that I discovered it and signed up with Usborne. Okay. Decide today that you're going to offer this great opportunity to everyone. Everyone. Don't prejudge them. Don't decide for them. Just offer the information and let them decide for themselves if the business will work for them and their family or not. I love these pictures at the bottom. The first one, too busy. Second one, no skills. That looks like me some days with a computer, truthfully. Too shy. That could be also me too. Or perfect. That could be also me too. So any of these pictures could have been me. But so don't prejudge. Alrighty, so what do you do first? What do you do first to start your recruiting? Make a list and fill up your calendars with bookings because you want to go to meet the people. If you don't meet anybody, if you don't meet people, you're never going to be able to offer them the business opportunity, offer them a packet of information if you don't meet them. So you want to fill up your calendars with bookings, with home parties so that you can meet people, or booths, or book fairs. Any place there's people, you want to book that and get that on your calendar. A second thing you want to do is you want to think about the people you already know, and you ask yourself two questions. Who would you like to work with? Who would be fun? Is it your best friend or your sister? Well, who would be fun to work with and go do parties or booths or book fairs together? Think about who you know and then give them a call. And you're like, well, what do I say? Well, basically just tell them the truth. Just say, you know, I was thinking about you today and I thought that you might be interested in working with Usborne with me. I think it would be really fun to work together. We could do different things. I didn't know if you had any interest and I was going to offer you some information to see if it might fit into your life. Boom, that's it. You're done. You offer, they decide always, okay? The second group of people I want you to think about is who do you know that needs money? If you listen in your life, wherever you're at, church or friend's house or something, and you hear that somebody needs a little more money, that's an opportunity to offer them to start a second stream of income in their life. Usborne's perfect for that because you can do it in the evenings, on the weekends. Even if you work a full-time job, I know many consultants that work a full-time job and do Usborne on the side. So go ahead and Ask them the same way. Just say, I was thinking about you today. You said you didn't have the money to buy that swing set, or you'd love to have your child in music lessons, but there's no extra money, or there's not going to be a vacation this year because the money's too tight. Whatever you hear, just call them up and say, I want to give you an opportunity with Usborne. I'll give you a packet of information. You can read all about it to see if it fits your needs. I think it would be really fun to work with you, and you can bring in that extra money that you need. There's complete training, so you don't have to worry about figuring it all out for yourself. So, okay, so a couple list of people you know already. Okay, when do you start? When do you start recruiting? Well, I say today. Let's start today, and let's review a little bit. Know your why. Why did you start with Usborne? Know who you want to talk to, but get your list together. Don't prejudge. Offer it to everyone. Keep your focus on how you can help them and not how they can help you, and get your packets of information ready so you can hand them out. You can download it and save it into your documents, and you can email a packet around. It's very easy, or you can print it off and hand it out, whatever you want to do, or you can even post it in a message to somebody or something like that. So this is the simple information about recruiting, and keep yourself encouraged in it. If you talk to somebody and they were negative or something like that, don't take that as a sign that you're not a recruiter. It's not true at all. It's just one person that you talk to, and maybe you'll have an event and you offer it to everybody, and not one person asked to take a packet of information. That's okay. The next group will. So it is, again, a numbers game, and you have to go through quite a few numbers to find the ones that want to. But keep looking, because it's great. And you can start a team. You can promote to team leader. I know Brittany is working on promoting to team leader. You can help other women change their lives for them, their children's life. You can spread literacy. You can make more money. There's a lot of value to it. I am so glad that I became a team leader right away. I knew it's what I wanted to do when I started, so I set out to promote right away. So if you're new in your incentive time, begin now. Lots of people promote within their incentive period. I did. And I'm so glad I did. It was an open door, and I stepped through it. I saw the opportunity. I saw that it was a great deal, and I went ahead and did it, and I'm so glad I did. So, okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me or Brittany or whomever, and we'll help you get going on this. And thank you for listening.